Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a serious but crucial topic. How to survive an earthquake when you're outdoors. We often hear about drop, cover, and hold on for when we're inside. But what happens if the ground starts shaking while you're enjoying a hike, walking down a city street, or even just relaxing in your yard? Knowing the right steps to take can make all the difference. So, let's get right into it. First and foremost, the instant you feel the ground shaking, your primary goal is to get to an open area. This is the single most important rule. Move away from anything that could fall on you. This includes buildings, street lights, power lines, and trees. The greatest danger during an earthquake outdoors comes from falling debris. So, if you're in a city, your instinct might be to run towards a building for cover. But that's exactly what you shouldn't do. Instead, look for the clearest, most open space you can find. Like a park, a plaza, or even the middle of a wide street if there's no traffic. Drop to the ground in that open space. Protect your head and neck with your arms, and hold on until the shaking stops. Now, let's break this down by different outdoor scenarios. Imagine you're walking in a dense urban environment, surrounded by skyscrapers. This is one of the most hazardous places to be. The risk of falling glass, bricks, and facade panels is extremely high. Do not stand in doorways. This is an old myth that's no longer recommended, because modern doorways aren't necessarily stronger, and you're still vulnerable to flying objects. Your best bet is to move as quickly and safely as possible into the street, away from the buildings. Look out for traffic, of course, but your main priority is getting clear of the fall zone of the surrounding structures. If you can't find a truly open area, try to find cover next to something low to the ground that won't collapse. But this is a last resort. The key is space. What if you're driving when an earthquake hits? This can be a terrifying experience. The car will start to shake, and you might think you have a flat tire. As soon as you realize it's an earthquake, slow down calmly and pull over to a clear location. Avoid stopping under bridges, overpasses, power lines, or large signs. Stay in your vehicle with your seatbelt on. The car will act as a protective shell against smaller falling objects. Turn on the radio for emergency updates. Once the shaking stops, proceed with extreme caution. Be aware of potential road damage, downed power lines, and debris. Bridges and ramps may be weakened, so avoid them if possible. Emergency services will need clear roads, so don't become part of the problem. Let's switch gears and head into nature. What if you're on a hiking trail? If you're on a mountainside or near steep slopes, you're in danger of landslides, rock falls, and falling trees. Your first move should be the same. Drop cover and hold on. Try to find a spot clear of trees and rocks. If you're in a wooded area, the risk of falling branches is very real. Crouch down and protect your head. Once the initial shaking subsides, be extremely vigilant. Aftershocks are common and can trigger further landslides. If you're in a low-lying coastal area, a tsunami is a major concern. As soon as the shaking stops, you need to move to higher ground immediately. Don't wait for an official tsunami warning. The earthquake itself is your warning. Move inland and uphill as far and as fast as you can. Now, what about being near the coast on a beach? The moment you feel an earthquake, your only thought should be tsunami. Forget your belongings. Your life is what matters. Run for higher ground. Every second counts. A tsunami can arrive within minutes of the earthquake, and the waves can be incredibly powerful and destructive. They aren't like normal surfing waves. They're more like a rapidly rising tide or a wall of water. Keep moving uphill until you're at least 100 feet above sea level or 2 miles inland if possible. Stay there until authorities declare it's safe to return. Don't assume the first wave is the only or the biggest one. Tsunamis often arrive as a series of waves over several hours. Let us go back to a more common scenario. You simply in your yard or a neighborhood park. This is probably one of the safest outdoor places you can be. You're already in an open area. Just move away from your house. Any sheds, fences, and large trees. Drop to the ground, cover your head, and wait for the shaking to stop. Even in a familiar environment, be mindful of potential hazards you might overlook, like gas lines or water mains that could rupture. After the shaking, check on your neighbors from a safe distance, but be prepared for aftershocks. After any earthquake, communication can be difficult. Cell phone networks are often overwhelmed. Try to send a text message instead of making a call, as texts are more likely to get through. Keep your phone lines clear for emergency responders. Have a battery-powered or hand-crank radio to listen for official information and instructions. Don't spread rumors. Rely on credible sources. Inspect yourself and others for injuries. If you have a first aid kit, now is the time to use it if needed. Provide basic first aid, but don't move seriously injured people unless they are in immediate danger. The aftermath of an earthquake can be just as dangerous as the event itself. Be aware of downed power lines. Always assume they are live and stay far away. Look out for gas leaks. If you smell gas or hear a hissing sound, get away from the area and report it if you can. Avoid entering damaged buildings. Even if they look stable, they could collapse during an aftershock. And remember, clean water might be scarce. If you have an emergency kit, it should contain stored water. Otherwise, you may need to purify water before drinking it. Tosumitab, surviving an earthquake outdoors is all about situational awareness and quick thinking. Your mantra should be, get to an open area, away from anything that can fall on you. Drop, cover, and hold on. If you're driving, pull over safely. If you're near a slope, watch for landslides. If you're near the coast, get to high ground immediately. Being prepared isn't about being paranoid. It's about being empowered. Having a plan and understanding the risks of your specific environment can save your life and the lives of those around you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this information was helpful and gives you confidence in knowing what to do. Earthquakes are unpredictable, but a response doesn't have to be. Stay safe out there. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and family, and subscribe for more content on how to stay prepared. See you in the next one.